everyone. Welcome back to TC 911 Beyond the Call. This is episode 11 of season 2, and I am your host, Abbey Dudek, the communications coordinator at Tarrant County 911 District. And I have the great honor of sitting with one of Arlington 911's supervisors, Tameika.
Yay!
Yay! How are you doing?
I am doing great, Abby. How are you?
I'm doing fabulous. I would just like to share that when this was recorded, because obviously it's October in podcast land, but when this was recorded, we are in the end of August, and it is 10:45 at night.
Yes.
I have to say that I like coming at dispatch centers in the night. That didn't sound well. I like coming to dispatchers in the night. Like I'm stalking you guys. I'm watching now. I like coming in the evening. Like
yeah.
I never get to see people, and I had a couple people come and, say hi, and it's just a nice seeing everybody else, because the day shifters.
Yeah, normally everything is done during the day. Those are the quote unquote business hours.
Yeah.
And so you don't really get to see what kind of goes on after hours, which is pretty much same thing, different people, but sometimes the the vibe can be a little different.
Yeah, because it's the nighttime.
Yes.
It's the nightlife. Everyone loves the nightlife. They love to boogie. That's okay.
Is that what we're doing here?
That's what's going on here. So thank you so much for taking time out of your shift here to talk to me. I know you left some good other supervisors in charge as we come in and do this podcast. So Tameika, how long have you been at Arlington 911?
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. I've been at Arlington 911. July made my 6th year.
All right. Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you.
Awesome. And did you dispatch prior to that anywhere else?
I did not. This is my first time being in this type of environment. It's been good.
It's been good? Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's been different, but, you get acclimated to it.
Oh, sure. What'd you do prior?
A lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So right before I got here, I was a licensed manicurist.
Okay.
So
okay. Let me see your nails.
Well, of course I didn't do my nails.
Okay.
But
you knew this is going to be my next question is when you say that. Like if I was to tell you that I was a ballerina, you would be like, okay, Abby, then you need to show me some ballerina move. I'm not, but I'm just going to ask.
Yeah. And I still practice every now and then, but that's not what I do from a major job. But before that, I worked for a bank for like 12, 13, 14 years.
All right.
So I originally came from that corporate world and then left there and got into the trade world of being a manicurist.
That's quite an art, though. I have to say that's an art to me, because I've seen some stuff and I'm like, that's like a sculpture. Like some of the nails people do, and then some of the intricate painting that people do on nails.
Yes.
Like that's just not anything. I don't look at that as like, oh, I just do. I'm like that. There are some talented people out there that do that.
Yes, there really are.
Yes.
And it does take a lot of talent, does take a lot of practice. I started out doing, some of those intricate, I called it abstract art.
Okay.
I would just make stuff up on the fly. Like, don't bring me a photo. Just come in and say,
paint my dog.
Hey, I just want something.
Sure.
And I would just, just go off the hip. So that's how I did my nail art. But it's gotten so much better and so much more intricate these days. I still keep up with that kind of stuff, just to see what they're doing. But I'm more of a simple person now. Like all of the wild and crazy lengths that you may see and all the wild and crazy shapes that you may see. Yeah, I'm more simple. Like just give me the basic professional woman.
Right.
And we can just do some basic professional, nails and toes. That's the kind of person I am now.
Yeah. I had my first pedicure, right? When you do your feet.
Yes.
So that should just tell you right now that was my first one. I went a couple weeks ago, and it was great. The service was great. I live in South Fort Worth, so we went near a place near there, and it was really great. And and I say great because nothing about the customer service was an issue at all. It's just me. I was just kind of like, I'm kind of awkward, and people are like,
yeah.
And then I like the hot stone thing, but I'm very sensitive when people like rub rocks on my shins. Something about that. So, and then I did like the chairs, but then at the next day, I felt like someone was pounding on like I had gotten beat up on my back, and I was like, I don't think I'm going to go again.
A good chair. Well, you just need to adjust the, the levels on your chairs.
Oh no,
they make them now.
No, trust me, I was remote controlling that thing like nobody's business.
That was a good chair.
Some of that stuff is for others, to each their own, but I tried it. And right now I will tell you, I have pretty pink or purplish sparkly toenails.
Yes.
So that's fun. They're just gonna have to go how they go. I don't know how they run out, but anyway, a little side note there. But yeah, okay. So what got you to be like, I'm gonna apply for 911, or have you, had hearing about? Have you heard about 911 careers? Were you interested? Did you see a show? Did you?
None of that.
None of that.
None of that. It was a total, as you said, fluke. I was trying to get back into the corporate world, and at that time, looking for employment, it was a beast, like online all the time, filling out dozens and dozens and dozens of apps and sending your resumes and doing all the stuff they require you to do. So a friend of mine actually knew someone that worked here. And he was like, hey, you know what? I know a guy, he works for Arlington, they're hiring. Okay, ask him, how do I get in, apply, whatever. So that's how it started. I had never even thought about this sector,
public safety, going into that.
Yeah. But, was fortunate enough to be able to get into it, get the interviews, get the job, and start their career there. And it's been an eye-opener. It's been a big learning experience. I always thought, I used to do call center work at the bank, so it's nothing.
Yeah, when I'm out in the public and people when I tell them, hey, there's a lot of centers hiring in Tarrant County, and they're like, oh yeah, I used to work in a call center selling, timeshares and stuff. I'm like, that's great. So you have the schematics of maybe the tools that you would use.
Yes.
But you're not going to get people wanting to book timeshares. You're going to get people that are, possibly having life or death situations, in progress criminal activity, medical issues, all sorts of stuff like that. So yeah, that I'm sure that you're right. An eye opener. You definitely got the wow factor kicked in for you, didn't you?
Yes. And then also I had never, and still to this day, I've only called 911, I think maybe twice. And that was just within the last year.
Since you've worked here. So before then you never called 911?
Never called 911 for anything.
That is so funny because I don't think I've ever called 911 until I started working at the district. And then I've called 911 like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Just because some of the stuff, like when I would be in training and I would hear, or even on the floor, and I would get these calls and I would be like, people call 911 for this? It's like I would never thought to, call. But I guess because that's the number that for help, right?
Right. And it's, and I've explained this in other, I've explained this to other dispatchers and different podcasts that I've talked to, and everything is that what the public they know that you're their lifeline, and we want to keep the 911 lines open. Okay, we want them for only emergencies, but sometimes I can understand that a member of the community emergency to them might be a different definition, which I completely understand. And, in the moment and everything, but, that's why, the education comes through too on, knowing when to call, when not to call. But I can understand too, that's because they don't know the industry, they don't know the field. So
exactly,
just like I don't go to Kroger and understand how they do their shipping and how they do their stocking, or go to the bank and figure out how they do their procedures. It's the same thing. The public, we're here for them. But yes, we want to advocate. Please only call or text 911 for emergencies. Let's keep those lines clear, because every city in Tarrant County is getting so overpopulated, and that means more 911 calls. So the more those lines stay open, the faster that these emergency services can be, dispersed out and give people help. So that's
also
a big thing.
When we do get those calls that aren't really for us, it's kind of a relief too, just because our night is not filled with, domestic violence or, carjackings or thefts or, whatever, so occasionally I enjoy the little old lady calling, about your electricity bill. And I have to say, do you have a phone number?
Lately, the electricity bill does look like a 911 emergency in my book.
Yes, it does.
Especially
the prices are so high, but because it's so hot in Texas.
It is. Yeah, it's super spicy. Again, this is recorded in end of August, or kind of semi towards the end of August, and we're on our 108 streak, 108 temperature streak and whatever, and Yeah. I don't think my air conditioning literally just gives me like a dirty look every time I walk by it. I'm sure of it. But yeah, it's super hot. But that I can understand, someone's looking at their bill and being like,
yeah.
Was there always an added one on that? What is that?
It's like, it will be for the next couple of months.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So you joined into 911. What were your expectations? Like, what did you think you were going to go into, or how long did you think you were going to do this? Was it just you felt like might be a stopping ground, and then you're like, yeah, I'm just going to hang out here for a while and then see how things go, and then I'm probably not going to stay, or?
So, just the way my mind works, when I got into it, I was already past the 40 mark. So it's like, hey, over 40, like I can't do like the millennials. You do not
look over 40, by the way.
Appreciate it.
I'm not just saying that.
And this is nighttime, y'all. So she's looking at me at nighttime.
There's no windows in this room, so I wouldn't even know.
But just thinking that I can't continue to jump around. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I get this job, and of course, I have a degree in business, a bachelor's degree. So of course, that's always going to be on the forefront of wherever I am, not staying a layperson, but doing what I can, to move up the ranks, to whatever's going to help me, fit my life or make me better or help me use this degree, right? Mm-hmm. So I always thought that I would be here for a while just because I'm older and retirement. It's around the corner. So I got to stay somewhere.
It is not around the corner for you. You need to stop that conversation.
Listen, time passes by so fast now. So
it does.
Yeah.
It does. Every silver hair in my head. Yes, definitely. I could just see time. It just adds. No, it's a really good point that you make too. Because a lot of people always ask like, oh, if there are age restrictions? Is it like police where you can only be however old or whatever in some departments? But 911, it doesn't matter. It's like if you're looking for a new career, some people leave one career and they're like, yeah, I'm going to, I've heard about this. This may be something in my wheelhouse. I'm going to go for it. And plus, you do get good benefits. You can, add some pad to your retirement if you already have one. And I'm assuming that's what you did.
Most definitely.
Yeah. And you're just padding to it. And of course, the benefits are really good, that you get when you work in 911.
And also, and I don't know if honestly, it's job security.
Yes, if another pandemic happens.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Even with the new AI stuff coming out, and I know they've talked about maybe having AI take some calls, but they'll never be able to replace a person because the calls don't always go, quote unquote, according to script. So you're going to actually need somebody.
You cannot script a 911 dispatcher.
Exactly.
And the AI calls, and it's interesting because I just had a conversation with a colleague this evening about AI, and it's good in some aspects of different industries depending on what you do for your job.
Yes.
I think the more that they're leaning on that is non-emergency, like directing type of calls, like, my water got shut off, and then it can help direct you in what ways you can, like, go to www.whatever and find this. So I think they're trying to eliminate a person having to answer those types of calls because they're not, they're non-emergencies.
And that, I can see that, and I can see that working, like I said, if conversation goes, and I don't know if they do it by keywords or what the AI thing is looking for, but conversation it can't veer off of something like that because then things might go awry. But yeah, for general stuff like that, if that's the way the conversation continues, I can see that. I can see that.
That would make sense. It would be helpful too, especially how not only just the public safety industry, but so many industries are having a hard time hiring people.
Yes.
That this could be something even for, like a front desk position, and there's not a person there, but there's an answering service through an AI, app or whatever, how it works for offices to be able to use that. So it's helpful. But yeah, if you're looking for a job in 911, you can come and apply to Arlington.
Arlington is hiring. Yes, we are.
And you can find them on our website at tc911.org. And I think you guys are obviously the city of Arlington, but my website actually takes you to y'all's site, and then people can apply for there too. So
that's exactly what we need. And they can go to the Arlington website, arlingtontx.gov. They can also look for the job and apply there. You can also come up to the police station and
say,
ask the officer to send somebody down.
Give me a job. I'm here for a job.
Yes. I'm say, let me connect you with dispatch. Let me get somebody down here for you.
Someone help you out there.
Yes.
Now, do you guys, some agencies do this and some don't. Does Arlington 911 allow, so if I was interested in a job, can I come and sit in and like for a couple hours if I'm background checked? Some agencies do that. I didn't know if you guys do that.
So at this present time, that's something that we are talking about just because we want people to be able to have a better understanding of what this job is, because sometimes, people apply, they make it through the process, they even make it through the academy, but, sometimes when they come out here to OJT, it's like a different world. Like once they get into the reality of it, it's a little bit different than, what they thought or what they expected. So we are talking about incorporating that some type of way in the application process so that they can spend a few hours up here, maybe in each different room, call take, fire dispatch, police dispatch, so they can get a real sense of what goes on here, so they can determine then if they think this may be a good fit for them. Yeah,
that's really good. And just even the job being a good fit, like, not even just the city or wherever, but I mean, because once you go to one, I mean, that's what it is. Like the performance is still the same, know, and it could be a different city, but the game's still the same kind of thing. The players change, but you're still answering 911 calls, non-emergency, you're dispatching fire. Now here though, you guys have separate call takers and separate police dispatchers. A lot of the bigger cities do, like Fort Worth, you all, Irving, but a lot of them are one, they do all the whole position. So it is nice if someone was like, well, I don't want to do all of it. Can I just come in and be a call taker and then maybe promote to radio dispatch? Because I would assume, is that how y'all's process go for moving up? Is it like dispatcher 1 and dispatcher 2, or?
And actually, no. Once you get hired on here, the trainers will put you whichever room they feel like you'd be the best fit.
Oh, okay.
Either be a call taker or you'll be a police or a fire dispatcher. And then from there, we've had some people cross-train, like when fire dispatchers really needed some people, we had some call takers that, were cross-trained, and that it was a lateral move. They moved to fire dispatch. I don't remember if any call takers have ever gone to police dispatch. I know we've had some that had interest, but that part just hadn't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
And sometimes when you're in training, if you find out that police dispatch may be a little bit much for you once you're in OJT, then they'll see maybe if a call take would be a better position for you, or maybe fire dispatch if they need somebody. Yeah. So that's kind of how it works here for now.
Well, at least there's options. Like you can always try for it, and then if you don't think it's a good fit for you, then you have call taking that you can always, bounce back to if you'd like. Yeah. So that's really nice. Yeah. So how long were you here before you got promoted to supervisor?
I was here a year and a half.
Oh, wow. That was really quick.
That was. And it was just, they had the opening, the calls for letters of interest, and I would ask the supervisors about it, and they're like, oh yeah, you should do it, definitely. And, they give you the big pump up, it's like, go ahead and get in now, and, you'll learn as you go. And I was like, but I don't know this. I don't know this. Oh, you don't have to know that. We'll train you, and, all the good stuff that people tell you about, jobs when they're hiring for it.
Sure.
So I was like, you know what? Okay.
Yeah, why not?
So yeah,
we can lose.
Right.
You already got it. You're already in. So you might as well just see if you can just take that step up.
And then if it doesn't work out, there'll always be whatever the next time is going to be.
Sure.
But fortunately, went ahead and made it through the assessment and promoted. And then after that, it was like, hey, y'all didn't tell me about this other stuff, like y'all didn't tell me this, like some of this stuff, hey, y'all didn't mention that.
Oh, but you get the coaching and all of that with it. And
yes. And for me, fortunately, the people that were here when I promoted, they had been here like 20 years, 25 years. So the training I got and just the information that I got from those people, it was so much. And so it meant a lot to have them here still, to get that information from them, Yeah.
That's really wonderful. Yeah, there's a lot of people that left you. They retired. I mean, nothing. They just retired, or
it was their time.
Or they moved on and did something that wasn't as, because sometimes a lot of dispatchers, they'll be in this industry for 20 years, and then they're like, I don't want to retire. I'm going to retire from here, but I'm like, oh, I want to, go work at a doctor's office or a pediatrician office.
Yes.
They go do something that's like completely low key, which I completely understand.
Yes.
Change of pace and everything. But there's a lot of people that used to work here that I really miss seeing when I come in here and stuff.
But, like we said, they had served their time.
Oh yeah, they have.
Like 20 plus years. So
well deserved.
Yes.
Well
and
deserved
I often
time.
think people like compared to the jobs I had because I have a daughter, she's 27, 28, I forget.
She's around there.
Somewhere around there. But it's like with this job, I look at the people that have the kids, and it's like I wonder, like, how did they do it? Because I wouldn't have been able to do it.
My hat's off to all 911 dispatchers that have littles and some single parents.
Yes.
And how are you doing this shift job? That is just commendable.
Yes.
I mean, just making it happen. And the most well organized men and women that are single parents, they're well organized. What I'm meaning is that they're always so well put together. Mm-hmm. And when I was a dispatcher, I didn't have kids, I was like, oh, I'm so tired. But then I'd be like, no, Abby, be quiet, because this mom or this dad is doing this, dropping off kids, making it happen and everything.
Yes.
But and I don't know if it happens here, but I've seen centers and worked at centers that they help each other out with their kids. Like if one person's out there, like, hey, can you babysit? Can you watch or something like that? Like even I was raised as I'm a public safety kid.
Okay.
And so, when my parents were working, so I was babysat by a lot of dispatchers when I was a tiny Abbey.
Yeah.
So everyone just kind of comes together to help each other out, which I think is
a
awesome.
Great idea.
I know, you can just, if someone who's off and, oh, hey, I can't find a sitter, because sometimes it's tough. And sometimes daycare is like really expensive
yes,
too.
Yes, they are.
So I'm with you. I don't know how these moms and dads do it, but good. I so respect you, because that is tremendous.
And especially the ones that have more than one.
Oh my gosh.
Little. And I see people all the time. We've got one dispatcher. She works more than her fair share of overtime. Now, of course, it's overnight, so it's understood because your littles ought to be asleep at this time. Mm-hmm. So I understand how you can kind of sneak that in, but just the amount that she does, and, then having to, get kids to school and have to do homework after that and have to fix dinner after that, and then have to try to, get yourself ready to even be mentally prepared enough to come in here, overnight to do that. And I just have so much more respect for these types of parents. Because I already know I wouldn't have been able to keep this job, when my daughter was little, just because of our dynamic. So
I'm really glad you brought that up, because that's always been something that I've always remembered when I'm like, I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they, and then they just make it seem so no big deal.
But like you said, if they have a network like that, and I don't know if we do here or not, I've never heard anybody say that, but the conversation's never been brought up though.
Yeah, probably because you don't have small children, so maybe it's like within the mom niche. When you have little ones, maybe they're working something out there too. But I have seen it in some of the dispatch centers where so and so watches my kid because she's off this time, or she'll take them, and then I can work this. And it's such a helpful work environment. People really do come together in this industry when someone's kind of like got their back up against the wall, like, whoa, okay, I need some help here. I need to work something out.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that did you set some goals for yourself when you want to become a supervisor? Like, were you like, okay, this is the kind of supervisor I'm going to be. This is what I kind of want to give out these vibes. Did you ever think of, like, I know sometimes when people get promoted, they're like, okay, maybe in your life you had a supervisor or a leader who maybe wasn't the best. And so you kind of like, I don't want to be like, I'm going to remember that. And then I remember a good one I had, or, what were some of the things that you remembered that was going to help you take on this role?
And for me, and then you're right, I did have this one, when I was in the cosmetology world, there was this one business owner that I would, manage the place for. And I did say I never wanted to be like him. because there were a lot of things that went down that shouldn't have gone down. I learned a lot of business practices, not to do, like what not to do. But just me as a person, I've always kind of been like a people's person, like a champion for the people. Just wanting to make sure that I treat everybody fairly. Yeah. Just want to make sure that I didn't show, favoritism. Of course you have those that you maybe talk to more because you're on a committee together, or, because you're their QA or whatever the circumstance is, but not to make anybody think, that I favor anybody more than the other. So I try to treat everybody the same. And I just wanted to make sure that people knew that I was here for them. Yes, I'm in leadership, but I've also been, where you are. So I can see both worlds. And I've been doing that pretty much my whole career. Like whatever I've done, I've always been in some type of leadership role, starting from the beginning, working my way up. So I know both sides. And so I try to make sure that they know I'm going to look at both sides, where you're coming from, but also have to make sure that you are kind of educated about what happens on the other side. Because I know people have a perception of, what leadership does, how things work, how we come up with decisions. And I try to make sure that I, help them realize that that's not always the case. Yeah. Like it's not how you think, just because you can't see it and your perception is this because of what you do see, it's not always like that. So I just wanted to make sure that I approached everything fairly, and that people knew I was being as fair as I could be, but also helping them, see our points when we do have to, change the rules or policies or issue discipline or have conversations, whatever it is. Sure. That they know what the actual place is coming from and why we're doing what we're doing. Yeah.
So you like to show a lot of transparency, and you like to also remember where you came from.
Yes.
I love that. Yes. Does a great leadership qualities, because, so many different industries and jobs that I've been in, some people when they get promoted and stuff, and this isn't in the 911 industry, but they'll forget where they came from and they become a completely different person.
Yes.
And you're just like, did you think we weren't going to notice?
Yes.
But that's wonderful. What a great personality to have for them.
When you have and I don't know if it's just the high of being promoted or, just the feeling of accomplishment that you're promoted. Sometimes those first few, probably couple of weeks, you may feel a little different, know, and it may take, this certain employee or two to be like, hey, let's bring that down, a notch or two, like congratulations to you, but, still remember, we're all just people. Right. So, but sometimes it happens, we feel like we're, a little somebody because
I feel like I'm somebody when I get to bed before 9:00. Not going to be tonight.
Sorry.
That's okay. It's totally worth it. I love it. It's kind of like I want to say almost like not a slumber party, but like, I don't know. I'm not sleeping here. I know there's cots here.
We've got some little
beds, like little beds little or couches. Something like that. Yeah.
We've got so just remembering what you said about your pedicure experience, but we've got the greatest massage chair.
I saw that thing, and I went to the break room.
Yes,
and I saw that, and you guys had just got that.
Yes, probably maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah, because it wasn't here, because I've been doing retirements, and then I stopped by here another time, and that big honking thing was not in there.
Yes.
I looked over and I was like, what in the world is that space chair? What is that?
It is amazing. I think the company is called Laraco, but some kind of way, I think they were talking to maybe the fire department or something about, donating a chair. And I think the fire chief at that time recommended the chair be brought up here to dispatch.
Oh, that's nice.
So the chair was donated to us. And, we had a conference with the guy that works for the place. He told us how to use it, gave us the instructions, just explained everything about it. I was like, try it out, because it's supposed to be similar to a real massage, right?
Yeah.
It's got all the bells and whistles. She even talks. The chair talks to you.
The chair talks to you?
Yeah.
Okay, now, does everybody else hear this, Tameika, or is it just you?
Hopefully they've heard it. I definitely heard it. But, she just says, lay back, now doing body scan, whatever she says. Yeah. But that chair is amazing. It does hand and forearm. It does feet massage. It heats up.
Oh, my gosh. How do you guys get out of that? I can't know. Now, if this was 5:00 in the afternoon, I'd be like, I'm going to try it out when we get done. But if I go in there, I have to drive home, and I am not going to want to be in that chair, because I'm going to be like, okay, night.
Yeah, you're going to be very relaxed. And it's helped a lot of people around her too. People use it all the time. But, we have like 10-minute 10-minute spans. Like, if you're on break, use it for 10 minutes. That way, if somebody else is on break, they can also get to use it, for 10 minutes, just so everybody can have their fair chance at using it. But it is awesome.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes, okay. We love that chair.
So if you would like your own talking chair, personal massage, big, huge, and that thing is big. I walked by and I was like, it was definitely like eye catching, because all I did was walk to the restrooms, and I looked over and I was like, it caught my eye. I was like, what is sitting over there?
Yes.
So, okay, if that's going to sell you to apply for Arlington, they have a massage chair here.
Yes, we do.
That talks to you.
Yes, we do.
Allegedly.
And it plays music.
Okay. What else does it do, Tameika?
Listen, it massages everything. It is just like,
it talks to you. It plays music.
The foot massage, like the bottom of your feet. Like, I've never seen a massage chair do that. So that, for me, that's amazing. And then just the hands, because we type so much, and we're always.
It does your hands too.
Yes, like it'll squeeze down, and it does your hands, and it does your forearms.
Oh my gosh,
it's amazing.
My mind goes in a direction of like machines taking over. I don't know if you ever remember the movie Maximum Overdrive by Stephen King, and it's like all of the machines and everything just like take over, and like, what if that thing just decides to like lock you in? I'm just talking, just, you never know. That's where my mind goes.
And I mean, like, as long as it stays on.
You're like, as long as it's massaging me, it could totally keep me captive. Sorry, guys, I can't get up. Yeah. It's kind of got a mind of its own.
Yes.
Like Skynet and Terminator or something like that. It's just taking its own form.
I would not mind.
Well, that is really nice. That's super nice.
Yeah, and it's been really helpful. Like I said, because our bodies get stressed just
in the neck and shoulder area
does
too.
That too.
Yeah,
it does all of that. But
does it cook a pizza? Can I cook a pizza on it?
You can cook a pizza in a toaster oven.
Oh, I'm just, it's right there.
Take
There's a
it with
fridge
you.
there. There's what happens,
You never want to leave. Yeah.
Well, that's really awesome. So you did talk about retirement. So can I ask and get a transparent answer of how long do you think, how long, what's your plan? 5 years, 10 years?
Oh, when it comes to retirement, I think the age is 62, 67.
It's whatever you want it to be.
Well, yeah. According to my life, it's going to be 62, 67.
Mine's 60 or 61.
Okay.
Depending if I win the lottery. So it'll be 61.
Listen, that was in my mind because I've been playing pretty hard. But actually, so what? I started in 2017. In order to retire, you have to be here, I think, 20 years. So 2037.
That sounds...
Depending on what's going on in life at 2037, if I'm still here, if I can retire then.
I'm trying to think how old I would be in 2037.
That's 14 years from now.
Oh, it's 14 years?
Yes. That puts me past 62.
Oh. Okay, then you got to go sooner than that. Meaning retire.
No, I can't.
Oh, no, 62. Oh, because you said you wanted to be retired at 60 or 61. Okay. Or no, 61, 62.
So that was my hope. So now doing the math, that hope is shattered.
I'm sorry that this podcast brought that out.
So it's going to be about 65, 66.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got this. I'll tell you what. We'll play the lottery, and if you win, you give me some. And then if I win, I give you some. But it'd be enough. Like, if, let's say, because like right now the one is like $210 million.
Yes.
Like, what am I going to do with $210 million?
Listen, I could write it out for you.
Could you?
Yeah.
See, if I ever won the lottery, I told myself I would need 3 days by myself. You need 3 days to, one, marinate in the fact that you just won a boatload of money.
Yes.
And then you need to make rational financial decisions.
Yes.
Because most people that win the lottery end up being bankrupt in like a short period of time.
That's what I heard.
So, but I would reach out to Tameika and be like, hey, guess what? You can retire. Here's $5 million.
Hey, that will work.
Because I have 210.
That will work.
Even with taxes taken out, I would still go home with like over $125 million.
Yes.
Like, come on. I'm just going to ask for fives,
do that.
fives and ones and nickels. And
that's a deal.
Okay. Oh, you heard it here,
$5
folks.
million for me, $5 million for Abbey.
Well, I won the over 100.
Well, if I win.
Oh, then you get $5 million to me. Oh, okay, now I get it. Yeah, this is fun.
I give you $5 million.
I figured it out now.
Yes.
Okay, $5 million. I'd be fine with that. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I would add a wing to my house that looks absolutely absurd, like a castle that doesn't even match my house. Just be like, I just felt like doing it because why not?
Right? Because you could.
Yeah, I know, right? So, but yeah, it is sad seeing people go. It's one of the things I do not like about my job. I like the honor of being there when people do retire, but it makes me sad because I've met so many great people, and so when they retire, I'm always like, I won't see them. I'm not saying I won't never see them, but it's such a big, we live in such a large area, and then how often do you really see them? Yeah. But so I get really sad. Yeah. I get really sad when people retire. I'm happy for them, but I'm like, oh, yeah, I really like seeing you at the
get sad too, because I wish it was me.
Center. You wish you were retired.
I mean, because I always be like, man, if I had started here, when I started at the bank, like that would be me right now. Yeah. But like we said, I wouldn't have been able to do that, with my little. Yeah.
There's always good reasons for everything. You'll figure it out. And you probably already have. I mean, you've been promoted after only being here like a little over a year, and already here just being awesome and everything. So,
Yes, trying to be.
Well, so what was is there a call that stands out that you took? It could have been like maybe the first call that you took, or maybe something that's recent. What's a call that stood out to you? And it doesn't have to be, I would actually more lean towards maybe like if it was funny or interesting, as in like a real shock value. Because I think 911 dispatchers can still, no matter how long you've been doing this, you will get a call that's still going to be a shock value that you're just going to hang up and go, huh. Okay.
Yes.
I did not see that coming. Like one was told to me the other day, and I was like, oh, it was very interesting. I'm not going to share it because it's actually on one of the other podcasts, but it was, even when she told me the story, I was like, okay, that's weird. It's interesting. Anything like that? I know some people, a lot of the members of the public love hearing like interesting things. I don't want you to go into a sad one.
Yeah, definitely. So the one that I can remember, and just as a parent, it was interesting to me, but, this lady calls, hi, my daughter, she's 16. She goes to, whatever school. Okay, how can I help? She wants to go somewhere with her friends, but I don't know this group of friends. Okay. And she's like, do I have the right to ask her who these,
was this on 911?
Yes. She's like, do I have the right to ask her about this group of friends? And I'm like, I said, how old was she again? She's like, 16. Yeah, totally. And she was like, well, do I have to let her go with these friends? And I said, how old is she again? She was like 16. Like, yeah, totally. Like you're her mom. It's like, you're her mom, right? Correct? I'm like, you have the right to deny her. If you're uncomfortable, you have the right to ask her anything you want about these, friends that she wants to go hang out with. I was like, you're her mom. And just for me, as a mom, just the way I was as a mom, like I was always in my kids' business. If you wanted to go somewhere, who's their parent? What's their number? Mm-hmm. Let me talk to them. Let me meet them. And just sometimes, if I felt like you had, been gone too many weekends, you won't always get to go anywhere every weekend.
Right. You gotta stay home.
Yeah. But that was just me. But I'm like, you call 911 to ask if you could ask your child about her friends, or if you could even let her go. Yeah, you're her mom. You can tell her whatever you want to tell her.
That is really interesting, because you wonder what brought that up. You know what I mean? Like, right. what mindset was going on there? Like, what happened that was...
Now, hopefully she wasn't afraid of the child. I mean, I don't think I got those vibes, but just the fact that she wasn't sure if she could, ask her 16-year-old child, or maybe because she was a teenager. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, that threw me, and I was like, and I couldn't say what I wanted to say,
Oh, sure.
It's like, you're the mom. You can ask whatever you want of this child, and you can make whatever decision.
Yeah. And you know what? It's, as I think to be fair to moms out there, no matter how old your child gets, you can always throw your opinion out there too.
Exactly.
That is the great thing of being a mom. You will always be their mom.
Yes.
No matter
your opinion is the one that counts.
Yes. However, how old you are, your mom's opinion should always come to play in some role. So
exactly.
That is really interesting. It makes you curious to know what the background of that is and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, but that is, yeah. All right. So there's interesting calls, there's funny calls, there's sad calls, there's so much, but overall, I really commend you for being able to just leave here and not take it, because it can't, and it's okay if dispatchers, people are going to handle, stress and handle sadness and stuff. Anyway, you should consider actually being like a peer support person or something like that, on how you can teach, maybe talk to some other dispatchers on how they can kind of be like, hey, like try not to marinate in it, or try not to do this, or if you need to talk to them, because you seem very well-rounded on how you're going to handle when situations arise. That could be something that you could get into.
I just often try to tell the employees, when I see they've had a tough call, or maybe a crazy call, or maybe somebody was yelling at them or whatever it is, I just tell them, when I take phone calls, most of it is unfortunate for whoever's on the line. Yeah. But I'm just thankful that it wasn't me and my family going through, some of this stuff.
Yeah. You just wish you could do so much for the community.
Yes.
That's how I still feel that way. Like, cause now I see people in person. Of course I don't do emergencies or anything, but just hearing some of the things that people tell me that they're struggling with and everything. I just wish that there was more that you could do, or wave a magic wand and just be like, here's some service, here's this. Yeah. But it's definitely something that I think within internally for 911, with your fellow colleagues here, you could definitely do some educating or some coaching about how you can, kind of keep your mental status with this job, at a secure level. And maybe someone might need some help with that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
And so you could totally do that. I think I could totally see you doing that. So, and I think our listeners would agree too. So that's wonderful. So there you go. So you can work on that, and then we'll check on you later and see how that goes.
Yes, definitely check on me later.
We'll see what the progress with that. But Tameika, it has been absolutely awesome sitting here chatting with you.
It has. Thank you, Abbey.
Oh, you are so welcome. It's so hard to end the podcast because I really enjoy chatting with all the dispatchers. Yes. And if I had all the time in the world, and if everyone had the patience to listen to this for 2-3 hours, then it could get, who knows where it could go after 3 hours. Oh my gosh. I'd be falling asleep though, because then we'd be going on about 1-2 o'clock in the morning.
Bedtime, I know.
This is the latest. It's 11:30, and this is the latest I've stayed up. I mean, like, even on the weekends when I don't have to get up, I still get up at like 6 o'clock in the morning.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
I normally get up at 5.
No way.
And then I'm usually at the office about 6:30. Just because I just like that peaceful morning. Plus, I like to beat traffic. Yeah. So there's that. I know everyone in the Metroplex can feel me on that. Where can I get a time where I don't have to get in that rat race as much? So
that's definitely that 5 and 5:30 hour.
Well, this will be nice driving home back to South Fort Worth in this time, because nobody's going to be out.
Everybody's in the bed except Abbey.
Except for me and our wonderful headset heroes who are always standing by when you have an emergency, no matter what time of day it is.
Yep, 24/7.
No matter if it's Christmas, their birthday, their kid's birthday, your birthday.
Exactly. We are
They're
always
there, always ready. So Tameika, thank you so much again, my friend. You have been very pleasant, and thank you everyone for listening. Appreciate it. And if you only listen to Tameika, you should go back and listen to the other ones too. We have a lot of great supervisors and managers who have been involved in season 2, and season 1 is all about the TC 911 staff, the Tarrant County 911 district staff. So this is a good time, a reminder of, hey, go back and take a listen if you've missed a few episodes, and learn more about the Tarrant County 911 district industry. And with that being said, again, Tameika, thank you. And I hope you have a great rest of your shift here in the nightlife. And everyone out there, thanks for listening. And until next time, have a fabulous week.